Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I haven't done a movie review in a while, so I figured I'd find one, and it took me a while because I used to do a lot of movie reviews. I'm running out of good movies because there's hardly any really good movies these days. I have to go back into the past and find good movies. So I was looking through and I found one on YouTube. I found it, and it is freaking awesome. 1973. The Horror at 37,000 feet. And that sounds just so freaking ludicrous, but guess what? It is a great movie. It's a drama, fantasy, horror movie, scary movie. We watched it when I was a little kid. I want to say they had scary movies on Friday night, and our parents let us stay up and watch them. And that was when I watched it. This movie came out in 1973. I want to say 72, 73. The information I saw said 73, so I'm going to go with that. The plot is an invisible demonic force terrorizes the crew and passengers of a jet airliner. This was Snakes on a Plane long before Samuel L. Jackson was irritated about the snakes on the plane. And this movie, in my opinion, is better. And I'm not downing Samuel L. Jackson. He's one of my favorite actors. But this movie concentrates more on the characters and the subject matter than it does the action and the special effects. This was actors playing characters on a plane in a bad situation. This wasn't, there's snakes on a plane, let's see what happens. You know? Totally different concept, totally different approach to the movie, to making the movie. And another part of this is man's inhumanity to man in a desperate situation. Under desperate circumstances, how do people treat each other? This was absolutely awesome. Another great quote from this movie, it's not a quote. One of the actors says it there towards the end. He says, and this is not an exact quote, but the gist of it is, where devils exist, gods must also be present. This movie, there's one character in it played by William Shatner. He has a crisis of faith, and his faith is restored. Maybe a little late, but it's restored. The cast here, again, this is a brilliant cast. Chuck Connors, Buddy Epson, France Nguyen, Russell Johnson, Lynn Loring, William Shatner, Paul Winfield, Will Hutchins, Tammy Grimes, Jane Merrow. This has so many talented people involved. It's just on the acting part of it that it is hard to pick my one or two standouts, because in these I like to do standouts, and I couldn't pick one. There's so many really great ones. They literally put this is a movie that takes place essentially on an airplane with a demonic force on board. In this, they put Lucas McCain from The Rifleman. They got Captain Kirk from Star Trek. They've got Jed Clampett, the guy that played Barnaby Jones. He's in it. The professor from Gilligan's Island is on it. Everybody's in this movie. This couldn't be a bad movie if it tried. If you tried to make this into a bad movie, you couldn't do it. There's too many great actors in there. However, as a standout, I chose the people who did the casting, because getting this much talent onto a single production had to have been a miracle. The Star Trek alumni alone were brilliant. And by the way, this was before a lot of this was before. William Shatner, obviously Captain Kirk. Paul Winfield was in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Later on. This is obviously before that, but who else was it? France Nguyen. There's an episode of the original TV series called No, it's not Journey to Babel. It's I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what it is. But it's an episode where they got attacked by Orion pirates, and there was Elan of Troy was on board. This girl, France I hope I'm saying her name right. Nuyen. Nguyen, I guess. I don't know. Everybody deserves to have their name right, said right, and she deserves it because she's a great actress. She played Elan of Troyes. And she just, it was, the amount of people involved in this movie that were Star Trek alumni was brilliant. The amount of talent, raw talent that starred in this movie was beyond miraculous. This was a made-for-TV movie, so it doesn't have a lot of violence and gore and like that. But you can see it for free on YouTube. It came in 1973. It came out in 73. The movie is The Horror at 37 Feet. Horror. The Horror at 37,000 feet. I realized I was kind of speeding through that. It sounded like a different word. The Horror at 37,000 feet. At any rate, if you get a chance to see it, do it because you're going to be impressed. Again, not a lot of special effects, but the acting is brilliant. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.